If you're looking for a combo style grill that does it all, you've got to check out the Kamado style grill. Today we're diving deep into the details of the Lifesmart 24-inch Kamado to see if it is the right one for you. The Lifesmart 24-inch is a part of a video that we're shooting right now to determine who has the best XL Kamado grill on the market. If you haven't subscribed, there's no time like right now because it's not the only huge head-to-head that we're working on. A little insider tip for you there. Now we're running 15 to 20 tests on each to show you who's the best, and the testing has been delicious if I say so myself. So hit that subscribe button to make sure that you see the conclusion that we're working towards. I'm David Gafford with the Barbecue Lab, and Lifesmart might be a new name for you in the grilling arena. If you joined us for our best pellet grill under $599 video, you saw the Lifesmart 2000B pellet grill, and if you missed it, I'll put it up here in the card and in the description below for you. Now we're talking Kamados today, and Lifesmart has one in just about every size. They come as small as 15-inch Kamados all the way up to their largest in a 24-inch XL size, which is what we're taking a look at today. Now let's start with the dimensions and specs. According to the manufacturer, this unit weighs 209 pounds, which is about middle of the road for an XL Kamado. Now there are XL models from other manufacturers that weigh over 450 pounds, so this model is manageable by just a couple of people when you're setting things up. Now it measures a little over 52 inches wide, spot on at 48 inches high, and 30.5 inches deep. Now when you open the lid, you need a bit more room since the hinge pivots backwards a bit, which gave us a measurement of 35 inches deep. Now in case like us, you're thinking about adding this to an outdoor kitchen or a Kamado drawer with a back wall. Note to self guys, if you want maximum Kamado versatility in the outdoor kitchen, leave out the back wall behind the Kamado. Now the grill surface is two tiers. There's the main grate that measures 20 inches and an upper grate that also measures 20 inches for a total cooking capacity of 655 square inches according to the manufacturer. Now there's 4 inches of height between the main and upper racks. For the temperature range with this grill, the thermometer says that you can go up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit, but I'm more comfortable cooking in the 600 to 700s with this unit. Just because you could doesn't necessarily mean that you should, but you do you in the end. We assembled this model during one of our build days when friends come over and we feed them all day while they help us assemble grills. It's a pretty sweet deal for us since we assemble up to 40 grills per year, and I think they enjoy having a barbecue guy making snacks while they do it. Now Randy and Stan took on the Lifesmart, and I'm going to let them tell you about it.
We put together this Lifesmart big egg in about 45 minutes, and it was, I'll say, relatively easy for two people. Right, just heavy lifting it out of the box over and getting it into the nest, and then assembling the outsides. Fairly straightforward. On the scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the easiest, I'd say 2. 2? Yeah, very easy.
Kamado grills are pretty much made of 4 to 5 different materials. There's a ceramic that makes up 85% or more of the grill. That's the outside and the inside of the main cooking chamber and the dome. There's metal, and in this case stainless steel, which attaches the ceramic halves to each other and ties things to the spring that assists in opening the lid. There's wood that makes up the side shelves and the handle, and plastic and rubber that make up the wheels. Pretty straightforward construction, but some nice touches on this design with the stainless steel and wood used throughout. Now I don't see that this hinge is adjustable, and that's something that's hard to tell on these units to the naked eye. Now if this one's adjustable, I'm not sure how, so if you can figure it out, leave me a comment below to help out your fellow viewers. The cart on the Lifesmart 24-inch is made of stainless steel tubing, which gives it some real rigidity when you start cooking with it. The Kamado feels secure in the stand, but I'm a little wary of hollow tubing for stands since a friend of mine showed me how his hollow leg stand from another brand warped out and dropped a wheel. I can't say that Lifesmart has this problem, but I just know from experience that I prefer a solid metal stand over a hollow tube variant. Now there are 4 wheels on the cart itself, and 2 of them are locking wheels to make sure that it doesn't move around when you don't want it to. Now this is as good a time as any to bring up how you move a Kamado around the patio though. If you're going to move a Kamado, I recommend pulling it by the hinge instead of pushing it where it could fall forward, or pulling it by the handle where you're stressing the components that keep the lid aligned on the cooker. Now, enough of the details and the specs, it's time to light a fire and get cooking. Now, if you've watched any of our Kamado content on the channel recently, you'll see that we're cooking the same 3 recipes on each grill to directly compare them to each other. We partner with Porter Road to cook a chuck roast on each grill that we turned into Chipotle-style burritos. Now, we took the roast out of the package, we dried it off and seasoned it with our all-purpose rub and some Montreal steak seasoning. We use the grill gun to light the grill because it's just the most fun way to get it done quickly, and we settled the grill around 250 degrees for the first phase of the cook. Now, we didn't technically smoke these chuck roasts because we didn't add wood chunks to the charcoal. This is just straight up indirect low and slow Kamado cooking for our example today. Now, we put the roast in an aluminum pan with some better than bouillon broth and covered it before returning it to the cooker. In the end, the roast pulled just like we cooked it in the crock pot, but we had a charcoal and grilled flavor that you're certainly not going to get in the old crock pot. Leaving the deflector plate in, which did I mention is included in the box with this one? We wanted to test more of a hot and fast cook that we still wanted indirect heat for. Chicken lollipops is a recipe that I generally cook hot, fast, and indirect. So we picked up some chicken legs from Porter Road, trimmed them down so we could get rid of all the tendons and cartilage that I just don't love about eating chicken legs, and pushed the meat down towards the end to make our lollipops. We popped them on the Lifesmart at about 400 degrees and let them get to an internal temp of about 165 before we pulled them and glazed them. Now, this is a simple orange chicken glaze, and if you haven't seen it yet, it's delicious and easy, so check out the video up here or in the description if you haven't yet. Now, we drop them back on the grill for another 15 minutes to set the sauce and get them to 175 degrees internal, and they were just delicious. Just ask Ethan, since he ate about 7 of them. Now, no complaints about the Lifesmart 24-inch on this cook, easy as pie. Now, last but not least, we knew we were cooking for my in-laws' 50th wedding anniversary, and we wanted to make something special for them. Now, we knew they love surf and turf, so we bought a whole tenderloin from Gordon Food Services and cut it into steaks so that we could test on all of our Kamados. The Lifesmart got 2 steaks that we seasoned with Montreal steak seasoning. We wanted to test the factory grates versus a grill grate panel to see which one could get us the better grill marks on there. So we stuck a steak on the factory grates and 1 steak on the grill grate panel. And when I put them on, I pressed them into the grate to make sure that we had good contact to get the sear marks that I personally like to see. Now, it was an easy cook set to about 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and I set a 2-minute timer where we rotated the steaks 90 degrees, then flipped the steaks, and then rotated them again for 8 minutes of total cooking time. Now, one of the things that came out of this cook is that I reminded myself to wear a glove when temping meat on a Kamado without a deflector plate in after roasting my arm trying to get an internal reading. But looking at the steaks, we got better grill marks on the grill grate steak and marginally better char on the factory grates here. There was minimal difference in the overall char on each steak, but the marks looked much better on the grill grate panel. The steaks were delicious, and to be honest, I wish I had one of those right now. Now, after all the cooks that we shot on the Lifesmart 24-inch Kamado, it was time to clean her up. Now, I'm sure you've seen me do this before, but for those watching for the first time, here's my regular cleaning process. I'll start by putting on some gloves and using my hands to push the leftover charcoal around the fire ring to knock off the ash and get it ready for the next cook. Next, I'll add in some fresh lump charcoal to get to the amount that I need for what I'm cooking next, and then I'll grab the ash bucket and my scraper tool to make sure there's good airflow underneath the charcoal bed. Now, this step I'll admit that I get lazy on from time to time, and it affects how a Kamado performs. Piles of ash underneath the grate means that there's not enough air that can get to the coals, and I'll struggle to hit target temperature. Now, I usually remember this after I've lit the Kamado and the ash and coals underneath are hot, so just make it a part of Kamado ownership and scrape this stuff out each time before you light your fire. Now, the scraper comes in super handy, and I'll put a link in the description below for the one that I use. Now the bucket is just a bucket, so use a leftover aluminum pan or anything you have lying around for that. Every now and then I'll clean off the outside of the unit with a damp cloth, and if bird droppings are something that I'm dealing with, well, since there's a bird that made a nest in the outdoor kitchen that won't leave, that just poops on everything, just a little spray cleaner and a sponge will take care of that. Now Lifesmart offers a 1-year warranty on their 24-inch Kamado, and you can learn more about what's covered and how it works over on the lifesmartproducts.com website. Now before I tell you the price on this unit, I want to show you what all comes in the box with this thing. It's pretty impressive. Now for starters, it comes with the cart. That's a couple $100 alone. It comes with a cover, an electric lighter that you just push under the coals and plug it in to light up your charcoal, 2 wood side shelves that pivot up and down to save space, a second level grate to double the cooking space, and a deflector / pizza stone to cook indirect with or to work with pizzas. Now all of that comes in the box with one of these grills. So now, the price. At the time of this video, you can pick up a Lifesmart 24-inch Kamado Grill for less than $800. Now if you use our link, I'll even show you where you can get it for less than $700 right now. Now as far as value goes in the XL Kamado space, I haven't seen anything else that packs so much into such a low price point. It's interesting though, when you put the Pit Boss K24 next to the Lifesmart 24-inch, they could easily be brothers. I mean, they could even be twins depending on how you look at them. That's something that we'll have to dive deeper into with the best XL Kamado video here in a few weeks. So if you like outdoor cooking, please consider subscribing. We have some great content like the best XL Kamado Roundup that we've been working on for more than 6 months. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Now, if you want to see behind the scenes of all the life that happens between videos, follow us on social. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and more. So find us on your favorite channel and laugh with us about the things that don't make it into our YouTube videos. I'm David Gafford from the Barbecue Lab, and I will see you next time.